Time to get to the fork of the road and find out where Sherry Clark is going to take us. But you know, about this time every year we have visions of sugar plum fairies dancing in our heads, and sugar plums in general dancing in our heads and possibly across our lips and
eventually to our hips.
That happens. That goes with the territory. But this is the best time of year for sweets. But you know, we know what your thoughts are when it comes to sweets. But you're saying not all sweets are created equal.
They absolutely are not. And here's the thing: as you know, I'm the DIY girl.
Yes,
so
you are.
Everything needs to be homemade whenever we can do it. And there are all kinds of sweeteners available. And typically we think of cane sugar when we're making something sweet for the holidays.
Instantly, yeah.
Yep. But there's a lot of other options, and I'd love to share some of those with you. You game?
Yeah, okay, very much so game, because you told us about one a while back that we still use to this day in our own home because of the way you introduced us to it. So
what was that?
Let's the Guava.
Oh, excelled. Yeah, well, I brought that here today.
Okay, so that's the one. We're really big fans of that.
Let's start with that, because that one has been one of the ones that people have kind of turned on to, and that's this. So.
Yeah, we'll hold this up here for you.
What that is it's a liquid sweetener, and agave is made from the agave plant, which is the same plant that tequila comes from.
Right.
There's no alcohol involved, and it comes in amber color. It comes in a dark color. It's really good. You can substitute it for something like maple syrup or honey, any liquid sweetener in a recipe.
I think that the honey is what we used it for the most, and we actually had to get a container that was twice this size because we were using it so much. And what you find with agave is that it mixes so much easier than even honey.
It does.
Which
it's
is
less
surprising.
sticky. It's less dense.
Yes. And for lemonade with real lemon juice and a little bit of guava and water, it's the die for.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It really is something awesome.
And it's lower glycemic than a lot of other things. So people with sugar issues are interested in knowing that.
And you know what else I like about this too? I know. Tell me where you get it normally? Where you get yours?
Any of the grocery stores are carrying it.
Yeah, even the grocery stores that are the lower cost grocery stores have the big bottles of agave.
Yes.
So everybody's getting jumping on the bandwagon.
The
with this
big
one.
box stores even have it. You can get 2 for 1 and all those kinds of things. So that's one liquid sweetener.
There you go.
Another traditional one, which we've seen, obviously, we've known about this for a really long time, is honey. So there's a couple of things to think about when it comes to honey. One of them is, what's the source? Where did it come from? I'm a big fan of anything local.
Right.
And so local honeys are a really good thing to do. Honey never spoils.
That's the one thing that people might not know. That's a good trivia question. Is it the one food that doesn't spoil?
That's the one. And so we found it, for example, in King Tut's tomb, and it's still good, still edible.
And actually, the thing that was really bizarre about King Tut's tomb, it came in a little bear. Just like this, which people didn't know about.
You know, I don't know that that's 100% accurate. If we were on the trivia show, you might have lost on that one. No, not going to have it.
But the honey, again, an all-natural sweetener, and people say, well, it was all crusty and it doesn't look any good.
I got an answer.
Okay, I knew you would.
Okay, so all you have to do is put it in hot water. If it were in the plastic container, I'd probably take it out of the plastic, put it in a bowl, and put it in a bowl of hot water, maybe boiling water, and just let it reconstitute. All those crystals will go away. It's all good to go, and it'll be thin and runny again.
Yeah, and for honey, you could use honey for about anything, even some things that you don't normally think about for honey.
Exactly. Well, I like to put it in tea, and I put it in when I'm on coffee, and I go on and off of coffee. I put it in coffee as a sweetener. What do you use it for?
For honey on cereal. If you have unsweetened cereal, instead of putting sugar on top of it, a little bit of honey on top of it is always great to do.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think about maple syrup?
Maple syrup, real maple syrup?
Real maple syrup, baby. That's the key.
Okay.
You hit on my exact point here. I'm not talking about the inauthentic syrups, not the maple flavored, comes in a weird looking container, plastic thing. Real maple syrup. It comes from Vermont. There are places in the Midwest that it comes from. Look for the different colors, the different grades, and taste and buy the kind that you like.
And it is a little more expensive. Let's be real honest about this. And
but
that's the reason.
Use less.
That's the reason people steer away from it, is because of the price of real maple syrup. But again, can you use maple syrup like me? I have never tried it, but can you use it for lemonade, for example?
Yep, it'd be perfect in lemonade. Absolutely. Another sweetener that I really like is date syrup. Now, I make my own date syrup. What I do is you take dates, the real dates that come with a pit in them, pit them, and then add a little bit of water into a blender, or you can add orange juice, and boom, you've got date paste. Now, date paste or date syrup. This is now a liquid sweetener. So you can use it just the same way as all the things that we've just described.
So you just pulverize it then?
Yes,
with
it's
your
simply
blender?
it's pureed with a blender or a food processor. Either way you want to do it.
Is this one open?
No, well you can open it. Why don't you go ahead? Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, please. Good. Then you've done us a favor. Then on the break we'll have some more in a little beverage. No, it's perfect. It's wonderful for all of the things that you use a liquid sweetener for. Stick your finger in there. We're all friends here. So what we do with it also is remember that it's got all of the fiber, all of the vitamins, all the minerals. Yes.
I'm not going to drink it. I'm not going to drink it. But no. Okay, no, that is really good. But and again, you say you made it. You can make it yourself.
I make my own. This one I didn't. This one I bought at the store. But yes, it is easy to make homemade.
And 60 calories is per serving is what it says on this one. So not a whole lot of calories.
Not a whole lot, and it's got the fibers, the minerals. That's the other thing. Rather than just have cane sugar, the white sugar, which is devoid of minerals and devoid of fiber and all of those things. So we're looking to ramp things up. Okay, now we have something going on. I want to make sure before we go any further, go over to the side over here and discuss these. We have something coming up next week. Want to make sure we mention too, right? We do. Okay. I am a co-presenter at a sweet treat class, and what we're doing with that is we're teaching you how to make some really awesome sweet treats on Wednesday the 12th. And we start at 5:15. It goes till 6:30. $15 in advance. You can reach out to me at info@fork-road.com. I will give you more information, including where it's going to be.
Okay.
I'm co-presenting with a good friend of mine. Her name is Corrine Fensky, and she is actually the star of the show. I'm just the warm-up band, but it's going to be awesome. So please come and learn more about sweeteners and also some good recipes.
What kind of sweet treats are we going to be creating?
We're going to be making these little chocolate balls that are peanut butter, and they're sweetened. There's a secret ingredient in there. It's something you buy in the produce department. And the sugars that we're using, you'll be surprised about, so you've got to come to learn that.
Okay.
So yeah, and I would let you taste those, but you've already opened up my date syrup, so there's a limit here.
That's fine. All right, let's move over to the second tray here.
Okay, very quickly, we've got coconut syrup, which a coconut nectar, and that is like a coconut syrup. It's made based out of coconuts, very similar to the date syrup that we've talked about, a whole food basis.
Now, is it a super sweet sweetener, or is it super concentrated?
It's very sweet. Think about molasses.
Okay.
It's a consistency of molasses, and it's about as sweet as maple syrup.
Okay.
So it's really nice. It'll be thicker though. I wouldn't use it in lemonade.
Okay.
When it gets cold, it'll be too like molasses would be.
Okay.
Like
molasses in December.
Oh, geez. Yeah, there you have it. In the orange bag is Isla Canto, which is also known as monk fruit. That is, again,
I'll move this up front here real quick.
A whole food sweetener. And what you knocked over is the liquid version of it.
Okay,
so those two are kissing cousins. So they are really low in calories, really low in glycemic, really kind of high in cost. So it's a little bit more expensive than some of the traditional sweeteners that I'm
So what would be the advantages of using this then?
The low or no calorie. So that's a big thing for people, particularly this time of year, so that we can knock back that entire tray of goodies.
Okay.
But the big thing is what it does to your blood sugar. If you've got blood sugar issues, you're willing to pay a little extra price and just leave it in the cupboard, and that's for you to sweeten your things with. Probably wouldn't use it in an entire recipe, but what I would do would be to use it as a sweetener for my own personal consumption.
Use.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay.
And then the last one is a
I'll move
sugar.
This up front for you guys.
You bet. That's a sugar alcohol. Now there's a category of sweeteners. This one's xylitol.
I've heard of that because I heard of xylitol in gum.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the reason for that is it's presumed to be good for your teeth. So it helps to kill bacteria. Xylitol and erythritol are both from the sugar alcohol family. The pro on that is also low glycemic. The con is that for some people it causes disruption in the belly.
Okay.
It's sometimes for some people hard to digest. I'm one of them. I don't particularly like it, but it's an option. And what you need to do, as always, do your research. See what works for you. Taste, come to the class, learn some things about sweeteners. I'll be able to answer individual questions and answers that people might have, and I would love to do that. All
right, so again, Wednesday is going to be when the class is going to be held, and for more information, we pull that screen up again real quick. Here's where you need to get a hold of Sherry Clark here, info@fork-road.com, and she will give you the wheres and how to get there and things like that. But it's a fairly quick class too, what, hour and 15 minutes?
Hour and 15 minutes, and you'll get to taste the samples, you'll get to walk away having tried things, you'll get to, I'll even even bring that syrup that you stuck your finger in, and people
Well, you intrigued me, so see, it worked. Yeah,
it worked exactly. So maybe I can get Lou to sign that bottle, and I'll just give that away as a takeaway.
But you'll be able to make all these delectable treats down there and feel good about yourself when you're doing it too.
Exactly.
Okay, wonderful. As always, thank you so much.
You bet.
For any further questions, they just reach you at that same location?
Yep, info@fork-road.com, or you can visit my website, which is www.fork-road.com. And please reach out to me. Please come to the class. I would love to see people that are watching the show.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. We'll be right back.